We're tweeting because we're here, and that means we have to tweet. I tweet, therefore the show exists. Yeah. How else would our viewer know to find us?
Yes. Wait, yeah, that's it.
All right, awesome sauce.
Cool, awesome.
Hey!
1, 2, 3.
Okay, thanks for joining us. This is Talking After the Show. This is about The Flash, obviously. Tricksters, Season 1, Episode 17. My name is Ari Stiles. I am ARI4NNE on Twitter, and this is...
Christopher Schmitz. I am Teleject on Twitter, TELEJECT. And this is...
This is Flash Johnson at Twitter. And I am also at fastestbeenalive.com.
Okay.
Excellent. And it sounds like, for those of you who may have noticed, that all of us are at varying degrees of illness this week.
Exactly.
But we're still very excited about the episode, but there might be some coughing and
yes.
Sound
things
effects of that nature in the background. So it adds texture, damn it.
Okay.
So there we are. Okay. And where would you like to start?
Just overall impressions of the episode, Ari. I always like to start with who's on notice.
Who's on notice?
Ari.
Well, I kind of came to an epiphany this time around. I think that I stay annoyed with Iris because of my expectations of her.
Right.
And so maybe if I let go of some of those expectations,
right,
maybe it wouldn't be such an issue. But, and she can't, carry all the weight of, strong woman character on her shoulders.
Well, that's the other thing is like she's just been in chains that they won't let her act and do that small woman thing, because I feel like my attitude towards her, the episode tonight was, spoiler alert, is that pretty much all the men in her life are conspiring to keep secrets from her, and therefore
I think that's part of what made me feel sympathetic.
And therefore they're babying her, and so that's why she's like being like not.
And it's
not
really
a
just
baby.
More of the same. I mean, this is nothing new. She's been kept in the dark for a lot.
Right, exactly. And I felt like if this is what it's going to take. I mean, it's nurturing, right? It's nurturing versus nature, right? Like her nurturing is that she's being babied.
Yeah, see, she had that glimmer last in the first timeline. The show that had the two timelines a couple of episodes ago. Excuse me. That she, it's like she realized she was related to and dating a cop, so she's surrounded by cops, and she finally started asking questions, right? And so I was like, this gives me a glimmer of hope, because she's a reporter, and, she realizes that, she's got so many people around her that she could be getting story ideas from.
Right.
And, but then that timeline went away, and, it seemed to kind of go back to the way things were.
Right.
And so then this time comes around, and she asks for help to find her boss.
Right.
And I thought, I have to stop saying the "if I were Iris" type of thing. Yeah. So, she asked for help, so that's smart. She's like, hey, could you look into it?
Yeah.
But a little part of me is like, well, a real reporter, but the truth is she backed into this job.
Right.
So I could say to myself, a real reporter would be sniffing around
right.
on her own, in addition to asking for help from whichever boyfriend, dad, friend, cop she could get from. Yeah. And so, I was disappointed, but there's like parts of it that I'm just kind of letting go of. And I do, it still kind of annoys me that I feel like a lot of her ignorance is God, I don't want to say that it's like a plot device, but it's like, they're kind of counting on her to be dumb, or they're just like holding her, the writers are just kind of holding her as like, here's this beautiful woman that everyone's interested in. And
is like they need her to be the damsel in distress?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of see them as like Darian. I mean, they're both on this path. It's still very much the beginning. It's still first season.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of room for both of them. Like we're seeing Barry right now, kind of realizing that Wells may not necessarily be what he actually is, and that took him a long time to realize that. And the clues were all over the place. He was dense too.
Right. Right.
I mean, everyone's kind of realizing that and kind of jumping out of their that like natural naive state that they're all kind of in.
Yeah, it's naive or positive or giving people the benefit of the doubt or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, all of those and more.
Yes.
is pretty natural. But I did appreciate, because we've had the clues, like you said, Devin, leading up to now. I think all of us realized what was coming with Wells, but I was pleased that it wasn't just a one-for-one transaction, that there was it was a little bit more nuanced than maybe a lot of us had assumed.
Right.
That, it's not just Wells. I turned to Chris and I was like, well, we've already established that more than one person can live in a body, right?
Right. Yeah, so what episode was that? What was that? That was Firestorm. Yeah, Firestorm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
that was the first place I went to.
Okay.
Oh, are we back?
Okay.
Wow, it started up without us having to do anything. Okay.
Are you there, Kevin?
I'm here.
Okay, that's
cool.
weird. I'm
All
not
right,
sure
cool.
what happened.
Yeah, I guess someone turned on a blender in the neighborhood.
Yes.
But,
A Wi-Fi blender.
Don't laugh at your jokes. That's
All right.
that's my tip to kids. Just don't laugh because you'll start coughing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but the Firestorm character is you have two people, and then one of them has a physics device of their life's work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's really gonna happen here.
Well, I would love it if that were true. That if both people were in one body, because that would mean that eventually they both could be separated. But that's probably too convenient, and he probably killed the real Wells and assumed his identity or whatever.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, so in this episode it was really great. I was finally we have who is Wells, and it turns out, spoiler, is that it's actually someone from the future. Mm-hmm. Who killed his wife? I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend or super smart girlfriend, and then pretty much just took his identity, with some future device, which I think they spent most of their budget on special effects, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And so it didn't look too hokey.
Yeah.
I thought it was really appreciated.
Well, my whole thing is whenever they do something in the dark.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for them to do the special effects or CGI in the dark. Yeah,
I felt so bad because they put Mark Hamill, who was guest star in this episode, in the dark for most of it. And I was like, you don't look that old. Come on, turn on the light.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're trying to give it a little bit more weight. The scene.
There you go.
There you go. He's this maniacal, crazy genius. Flash Joker type thing.
Okay. So this is we were watching, and when they first revealed the man in the yellow suit, and he pulled off his mask, and it wasn't Wells right away. I went, what the what? And I turned to Christopher, and because I'm, for those that you don't know, I'm only watching the series. I haven't read the comics really. Chris has read a lot of the comics, but Devin has read even more of the comics.
Yeah.
And so I turned to Chris, was like, who is that guy? Yeah. And he said, we're going to have to ask Devin.
Because I'm like, because I know there's Reverse Flash, there's Professor Zoom, and then Jeff Johns came in with a new Reverse Professor Zoom, and I'm like, I don't know from them, I don't know which ones. So Devin, I need help with this.
Who is this gentleman?
Well, back in the 90s, during Mark Waid's seminal run on The Flash, they had a storyline called The Return of Barry Allen. Mm-hmm. And it was halfway a kind of a knock against people who were asking where Barry was every 5 minutes and letters, columns, and cons and all kind of stuff. And it was halfway just kind of a way of cementing Wally as the one true Flash.
Right.
And what it would kind of delved into is that Barry Allen had somehow made his way back through time from his death during the crisis. Spoiler alert, sorry guys.
Well, there's no guarantee that they'll do the same thing as the comic book.
Exactly. Plus, it's like, I mean, it's a long time, guys. Come on, you don't need to.
Yeah.
It's your own fault. But anyway, so he comes back through time, and Wally West is conflicted because, you know, at one, his idol's back, and he's excited, ecstatic, but he's also kind of pondering about where he is in the Flash mythos at this time. Right. And so eventually, Barry starts acting erratically, kind of off, just a little weird, attacking his friends and foes alike, and it's eventually revealed that Eobard Thawne, his greatest villain ever, somehow in the future became influenced by Barry in his legacy, used a process called the plastomorph process, which I'm assuming has something to do with his device he was wearing that changed him into the character Harrison Wells.
Taking notes.
I'm taking notes, man. I'm taking notes, man.
Soon after, Wally confronts him after he realizes it through a bunch of different plot things I won't ruin because you may want to go back and read it. Folks, you should. It's called Return of Barry Allen. It's a great series. Yeah. But in any case, he goes back, and Wally kind of forces him to a psychological break that splits his personalities into two, and then defeats him and becomes a one true force.
Okay.
That process, I'm assuming, is what he used to take over Harrison Wells' identity, the plastomorph process.
Yeah. So did you have a moment? Like, was that a cool Easter egg or not?
At first, I was like, wait a minute. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking back in my head, and I was like, wait a minute, the plastomorph thing, they're doing it. They didn't do it exactly the same way because, you know, obviously Eobard Thawne did it to mimic Barry and take his identity in the past, or in the future rather. But it still was kind of cool. Also was cool was the handheld Gideon that he had, the machine he's been using. Well, this is a little bit weird, but inertia, you guys are aware of inertia at all? Bart Allen, Reverse Flash.
A little bit. I wasn't a big. I wasn't a big Bart Allen.
I thought you meant like the concept, and I was talking.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So I was
a character, a Reverse Flash for Impulse.
Yeah.
Barry Allen's grandson, named Thaddeus Dawn. But he has a device he used to communicate with in his wrist called Cradle, which reminded me of Gideon just a little slightly, but sorry. I digress. Still great stuff, though. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, okay. But, yeah. So that's what the plastomorph process is.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. So were there any other Easter eggs?
I mean, there's some cool stuff like, you know, back to the old series, like the mayor Bellows was actually an officer on the old television show.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. You know, I was like, what's he doing here? He didn't really say much, though. It's kind of weird, but I mean, hey, he was there.
Yeah.
And then,
we saw on the Twitter stream people posting, you know, from the old series, like Mark Hamill and the Flash from then, who now plays Barry's dad. Yeah. So those were really cool pictures, and I just liked going back into that lair and seeing all that stuff.
Yeah.
In general, I'm a big fan of that sort of thing. Yeah, the more theatrical villains.
Right.
I grew up watching too much of Adam West Batman, I think.
No, okay. Oh, and did you know they're making a animated Batman movie with Adam West?
Oh.
Batman 66 movie.
Oh.
And they might be. Yeah, they announced this week that they're making Adam West with Burt Ward.
Oh man.
Batman 666 animated movie, and I think they kind of let slip that if it's successful, they'll probably make 2.
Yeah, I just remember I used to come home from school. We would run home and watch that. Me and like a few neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart that when my mom told me, "Oh, these shows were made years ago, like over a decade ago or something." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, oh, I could go see it or.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch them too on like at night or whatever. So
yeah.
I used to watch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my thing was like, the Return of Barry Allen storyline was I was in school for a while, and so I came back right towards the end of that Return of Barry Allen storyline, so I picked it up. So I don't remember too much about it, except I remember it was very cool. It was very cool. It was a really good lead up. So I came in the middle of it. So that's my failure as a fan. So, so other issues. I
Here we go.
My nitpick of the week.
You nitpick.
This
and
is my nitpick.
It's a pretty good one.
Okay, so I mean, to be honest, I went in this one. Like Devin, you're with me on this one. Like, we have Mark Hamill from Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars fever is picking up this year because Star Wars 7's coming back. Mark Hamill's going to be there. I really don't care what's going to happen in this plot. They could just do anything. But it was a well-serviced plot. It was I think it was well written. Yeah. I thought the Trickster was smart. Yeah. I thought it was delivered well.
Yeah, we kind of figured it out, but it was okay, not in a way that made us feel like, ooh.
Yeah, I thought it was really like a very smart episode. I do have something to say about the main feature of the main problem that Flash get out. But my main issue though was like halfway through the episode, Barry's running around trying to find the box, find the bomb,
and he finds the box.
He finds the box, and he tries to communicate, and like usually so far this whole entire season, it's been to people at Star Labs.
Yes.
Right. This time he's actually calling the cell phone.
They built in a cellular
device, which
extension or something.
3 minutes, I guess, to his stepdad, Joe, or Officer Joe.
Yeah.
And Officer Joe is standing right next to his chief, and
around other cops and talking to Barry and like uses his name and everything.
Yeah, he just says, Barry, hey, you found the bomb. Oh, that's great, or whatever. And I'm like, he's a forensic scientist. Yeah. He comes after the.
He comes later. He comes so what after. Why are you talking to him? Why is he at the crime scene already?
Why is he chasing down bombs?
And so that was a little weird. And he brought it up after, and I was like, you're right. And so tomorrow I'm gonna be checking the rerun to make sure that he actually uses his name.
Right. Yeah.
But
he does.
So
he does say
his
name.
Yeah.
He says his name Barry. I'm like, yeah, because he's not gonna like, hey, I'm talking to Flash, Chief. Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
And like, nobody else around him says anything.
Maybe a little bit
What are you doing there?
He goes inside. He's like, Barry, what's going on? Like that.
Yeah. It wasn't even like.
Code name.
Yeah. Like, speak to me, Navajo. Okay.
Before though, this isn't like the first time it's happened though. Like he's been on the phone with Barry before about something crazy going on.
Well, like really, because this is the first time I remember seeing him.
Well, not he didn't use the thing before though. But
he never used this before talking to him. Okay. Yeah, it's always been talking to Star Labs. So this is the first time he came back cell phone calls with it. So this is like whoa. But also it was like the worst thing.
This one's for Star Labs.
Yeah, make sure you get your pressure points right, or things get awkward. Right?
Oh crap! You're lucky both dials. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you press 3 times for your playlist.
That's right.
So where you're running.
You rub your nose for.
Come on. He's like.
So that was my main. That's my main beef. I think that's a really strong beef because that's like, that's a very strong beef because I feel like everything about this episode was really well done.
Yeah.
I felt like they had plenty of reveals. They like moved plot threads forward. There's only like a handful of episodes left, so they're moving fast, pun intended, to like get to the end. Everything's great. They could have just coasted on this one because you have Mark Hamill here. You have just fans from the old show. They're just having a great time, but they didn't. They actually stepped it up.
Yeah.
And just for that minor part, I felt like you were so close to having just a perfect episode.
Yeah.
Just so awesome. It was just so perfect. And so I'll just put that in the bank. That's my pet peeve of the week. My question to you, Devin, is there a comic book story where Flash has a device on his wrist and he's got to get rid of it, but he gets rid of it by phasing through like an iceberg or something like that? Do you remember that? Am I making that up?
I remember this actually. I don't remember if it was a comic book story though. It sounds like it was something that was actually from like the front. I think it was like an animated movie, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, now it's gonna bug me all night long.
Yeah, because I remember like that's actually from a story where like he can't slow down, still like speed, and I think he phases through an iceberg.
Yeah.
And so it gets dislodged in the iceberg, and then the iceberg blows up, and stuff like that. So.
I don't remember the story that was a while ago that was in that old 1991 Flash special, the one that focused on the TV show.
Yeah.
But it could just be spitballing and just completely.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta figure this out.
Yeah. Well, did you have any favorites or like moments this week that were like, yes?
The vibrating scene alone was just like wow. I also love just how you can tell that Wells giving himself away because of the way he described the speed and everything. It was giving it completely away. And I was just
this was the one where it's like I don't want to, call too much attention to it, but I was like, wow, Tom Cavanaugh is really good.
Yeah.
And so like when he was talking, he has to do so much. He possibly, for everybody on the show, he has to do the widest range of things and be the widest range of, emotions and situations and that sort of thing. And so, when he was doing that gentle, hypnotic, talking him through what he had to do, I felt like I could do it. I was like, get out of my way.
Say, give me a wall.
Exactly.
I'm right through there.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, well, I don't, it's one of those things where, like, if an actor is really good, you're not aware of it. But I'm sorry, I was aware of it, and I didn't mind. He's really great.
Some other scene, though, a little while ago, where someone asked him how it felt. He was like, it's almost impossible to describe. Like, maybe last episode or episode before, I can't remember what it was, but this almost seemed like it was just, this is how he told. You can tell, because someone else had the ability to describe down to a T what it felt like to move at that type of speed to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so it was Barry's dad. Was it Barry's dad who asked him something crazy?
Yeah, I think so.
This time, yes.
How did it feel that you're running like a bat out of hell?
Right.
That's what made him realize that. Oh yeah, there you go. That was a really cool scene, and the vibrating was just done so perfectly. Yeah. It was just like in the cool, like little molecular, crazy thing of the truck. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That scene period.
Yeah. Yeah. So, my concern is that I love the scene. I'm just gonna enjoy it, but it was nice seeing Dad in the Star Labs. Yeah. And it was really touching. But I hope it's not like my fear is that his dad will die at the end with the finger. So that's my concern. But
seeing Barry wearing the outfit he usually wore in the old show while he was in Star Labs. He was wearing the long jacket, the jeans, everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wearing Don Wesley Shipp, the old Flash.
Yeah.
The exact outfit he would have normally wore while he was in Star Labs before.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we were checking the schedule, and there's 6 more episodes, and with the preview that they gave, obviously there's a lot that can and will happen.
Right.
So looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. So next week is All Star.
Just a sec.
What's up?
Eddie Thawne realized picking out that Barry's Flash. What about that?
Oh yeah. So my concern is I have a question for you. Is Eddie Thawne? I guess we assume that he's related to the future Flash. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I remember we talked about this a while ago. There's a crazy villain called Cobalt Blue.
Yeah.
Who was revealed back in the old comic books to be Barry's evil twin, separated from birth and raised by the Thawne family with a long history of revenge towards the Allens. It's a long thing.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not sure if they're going that direction with Eddie because he does seem very earnest. I could definitely see. I think we all saw flashes of his rage when he found out that Barry was still macking on Iris or trying to. And so I can see when Barry finally wrests Iris from Eddie, something crazy happening or something nuts coming up from that. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
So I mean, but what's the name of the guy from the future though? That the Reverse Flash from the future, like.
From this episode? Or?
Yeah. Isn't he Thawne as well? Like a future Thawne?
Gilbert Thawne, yeah.
Yeah. So isn't like Eddie Thawne like related to the future?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Remember he said a while ago he said that he's a distant relative.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
Okay.
So, I don't know if it's gonna be like the tip off to hold the whole entire rivalry, everything, or what. But
okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy. I was like.
You are,
okay.
But you're right.
I can be both.
Yes, you
cool.
can be both.
Right, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So that was my thing, my concern about that. And then, so next week is All-Star Team Up.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Insane!
Love the preview. I was really excited for that. It was very cool looking.
What outfit was Oliver wearing?
Wait, one more time?
What outfit was Oliver wearing? It was a Darth Archer outfit. Or like Merlin's outfit or something. What was he wearing?
I don't know.
That was very quick. I thought it was kind of odd too, but everything was flying by so quickly.
Well, I think that's for the later. I think that's gonna be for the towards the end, like the big finale.
Okay.
And I think he'll need to like bring his own special crazy outfit to deal with the
Or if like if they've been able to successfully convince the authorities that Arrow is a criminal and he's having to wear something else for a shorter.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it'll work, but I mean that's obviously what they're trying to do on Arrow.
Yeah.
Is make him look like a criminal, so maybe they succeed.
Right.
That makes sense.
And then but next week is Ray is over, and then Felicity comes back into town. So that's.
But I want a break next week.
Huh?
I'm on a break next week.
Are they on a break?
They're on the break.
Yeah, April 14th is the next one, I believe.
Dang.
Oh. So that's why they gave us the big teaser.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
That would make sense.
Keep on watching past our another annoying break. We have awesome superhero stuff coming up. Please watch.
Right. So do you want my minor nitpick of the episode?
Okay, minor nitpick.
My minor nitpick of the episode. Okay. So the car crash happens. All the tires are blown out. Right? So there's got to be some evidence as to why all those tires blow out. Because you just don't have a car crash on a nice plain road where all tires just fail at once. So when Officer Joe is looking back at the case, there should have been something where it says like all tires get destroyed or whatever or something. They're for the rationale behind the car crashing. Because that should have tipped him off like, hey, something weird happened.
Yeah.
And so
A little bit.
So yeah, so I'm not sure if he explained it in the early episodes or not, but I think that's the only thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could see where yes, the evidence of like all the tires being blown would still be there, but I mean, that person was obviously dastardly enough to remove as much evidence as possible, and it's obvious if just from the way they did it, it seemed like it was isolated enough that a lot of time passed before the authorities actually showed up.
Yeah, so he could probably just like.
He has like
a deer or something. I don't know.
He can do all kinds of stuff if he needed to. He could probably take his little tire off and then switch him out with other ones. And then
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my big beef.
That's your little beef.
My big beef. My big beef. Yeah. So anyway, that's about it. So.
Tiny beef.
But yeah, so it was a good episode. I'm
tiny beef.
Sorry we have to wait.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed now too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Better when it comes along again, though.
Yeah.
I tell you, it does. Ugh. Boy, I'm sorry.
No problem, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we made it through.
Yeah.
All of us ill, and we will all be better by the next time we see each other, yes?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So we're talking after the show. This is The Flash. So definitely, if you were listening, please subscribe wherever you see this, and you'll get...
we should put it right on your face.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
And then, because if you subscribe, you'll get the latest episode reviews as soon as we do them into your Google inbox, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
And then also you can subscribe to the podcast, which I need to push out episodes because I'm late because I've been sick for the past forever. So anyway, but yeah. So Devin, where can people find you?
At fastestbeenalive.com and at fastestbeenalive at Twitter.
Cool.
Or sorry, no, sorry. I apologize. Flash Johnson at Twitter.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Ari?
I'm Ari Styles. I'm ARI4NNE on Twitter.
Okay.
He's coughing. He's Teleject. That is at TELEJECT on the Twitters.
Yeah.
And ChristopherSchmidt.com.
Yeah. Cool. And I thought it was a great episode, and hope everyone feels better.
Yes.
All right. Next time.
Enjoy, everybody. Talk to you soon.
All right.